Hey Lucy fans, Jennifer here with Stay Tuned, and this is our introduction to our exclusive interview with the one and only Aimee Garcia. You may know Aimee as everybody's favorite forensic scientist slash number one Decker Star shipper, Ella Lopez on Netflix's Lucifer. So without further ado, please enjoy our interview with Aimee. Thank you. So what was the most memorable experience for you from the sixth and final season?
Geez, that's a tough one. The most memorable thing, well, I think it was watching our own team take the reins, so in different capacities. So it was really fun to see B direct this first episode, Ildy, who runs our show, direct the first, I think a couple more episodes, and Kevin direct another episode. That was really fun. It was really fun to have a really neat arc for Ella. That was great and unexpected, because I didn't think we were going to get a sixth season, but was shot during COVID, so that has its own, parts of challenges. But everyone did it, and I'm so proud of our crew and our cast. And it was, it was really important for everyone to just finish the story as a tribute to our beautiful fans.
It was a really great sixth season. I watched it 3 times already with my staff, and it was really just incredible. It really was.
Oh, wow. You got everyone beat 3 times. It's impressive.
Yeah.
I agree. I binged it myself till 3:30 in the morning, and I was so impressed with everyone's performances, and definitely had, my box of tissue next to me, and
Yes.
I thought it was really funny, really well written, really well executed. I think it's one of our strongest seasons to date, which is really nice, to go out on top. And I agree. I'm really proud of everyone.
So leading into that, I was really surprised. Did Ellen know the entire time about the celestial nature? Like, she had her own murder board, for the lack of a better term. Like, how did that come about?
Well, I think, the first trigger was probably the frog. And she's like, what's going on? And I think she probably just slowly but surely had her suspicions between a minute talking, apparently the thin air, and Lucifer constantly saying he's the devil. And she just started, it's like, one thing kind of led to another, and I, was mentioned in the previous call where it's like one thread from a sweater, and then the whole thing just unravels for her. So, yeah, she's smart, smart enough to realize that Lucifer isn't just an unemployed actor, but she is smart, and so for her, I feel like she has just one clue, it's game over. And I think she probably wanted to believe everyone, and everyone was just telling her, no one told her that celestials exist, except, I guess, for Lucifer, who never lies. But yeah, with her, she's like a dog with a bone. That one frog analysis back, and she talks to Menadale, and she mentions all those things happening around the world, like the pool of a river of blood, and the socks things, and all these things that don't add up. She just goes into full forensic science mode, and then, solves the greatest case of her life.
So when did you learn that Ella knew?
I personally learned at the beginning of the season, so they always tell us what our arc is going to be, and I was really excited about it.
Awesome. And what was the most emotionally challenging episode to film this past season?
I would say DB's episode, Save the Devil, Save the World, who, by the way, crushed it. Like, I told him this when I worked with him, that I think I did some of my best performances with him directing me. So I just really trusted him, and I love that episode, and it was challenging for a few reasons. Just I think we shot the whole episode in one location, so and there was I don't think there was any outside cast in that episode. There's no dead body in that episode. It's just like a play. So it was both, I think, challenging and fulfilling, because it was an episode unlike any other episode we've done.
And were you satisfied with how Lucifer ended?
Absolutely. There's not a thing I would change. I think it was a beautiful ending, organic, really well thought out, heartbreaking, bittersweet, romantic, just inspiring, and just beautiful. I there's not a thing I would change.
Like I said, y'all nailed it. I mean, every season, y'all are phenomenal. So hats off to everybody and at Lucifer. I know the fans were gonna love it. Aimee, y'all did amazing.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, this season, I think it's important for the fans to know is for them. You know what I mean? The season is a love letter to the fans. It's a tribute to the fans. It's a thank you to the fans. It's an appreciation season for the fans. It's a victory lap, for the fans and what they've accomplished. I mean, who resurrects a show from every corner of the world? And that's just so beautiful, Brazil, India, Europe, Australia, all parts of the U.S., all genders, all ethnicities, all sexual orientations, all ages. Like, I'm so proud of this story and the show that has brought people together. I think that we need more of that right now. We need things that bring people together. And I think when you have these really complex characters, everyone relates to one of them, right? You might really see yourself in Maeve's struggle, or you might really see yourself in your relationship with your dad might remind you of Lucifer's relationship to his dad, or your relationship, unrequited love might remind you of a Decker star. I mean, it's just whatever you're, it's so human and so relatable, and that's why I think it resonates globally, and it's a really special show. I don't know when is the next time this just magical for so many reasons, like getting canceled, getting resurrected, having the fans just fight for us, and then showing up, and then a global pandemic, and then, thinking we're done, and then during the journey, it was like its own story. And the fans hung in there with us for the whole thing. I mean, even with Ella, I think people started running into more of Ella. And so I kind of, it's like even she is like an extension in a way of the fans, and they were writing more for her because the fans were like, she's us. Yeah. So yeah, I would say this, but the fans are, they're like our 8th series regular, and they're just as much a part of this, if not more than we are.
So speaking of the fans, Aimee, and this will be my last question for you, one of my last, is there anything you would like to say to the Lucy fans?
Oh, just thank you a million times over in every single language, and I just really cannot thank them for this magical experience and for just embracing Ella. I mean, she came in season 2, it's like being the new kid in school, and the fans were like, sit at this table with us. So I just want to tell them that I appreciate them and that I thank them from the bottom of my heart, that, they definitely just, tug at my heartstrings, cosplay Ella, and they make dolls out of her, and they wear her Vampire Suck t-shirt, or her Every Now and Then I Follow her Taco t-shirt, and, you know, say that they were very inspired to start science, you know, because of Ella, and, you know, that I don't know if I can express just how grateful I am to have the opportunity to be not only part of the show, but bring this to life. I mean, I've been in the industry for a really long time, and I've done, you know, all sorts of shows, supernatural, and I feel like there's something really, really, really special about the show, and you know, we all got through it together, and that's something that I will always hold in my heart. And, you know, the other day I was walking down the street and someone said, Ella, and I waved, and, you know, I was in a moving car, so I couldn't stop it. It was just like, you know, we lost you, and I'm like, oh, you know, virtual hug. And, it was just, I feel like I have a family and a group of people, and I love how kind they are to each other. I think that's really important. Like, I see people become friends in line when they're, like, waiting to take a picture, you know, with me and Kevin or whatever, and it's just, like, people that were just in front of each other in line end up becoming BFFs, and then we'll see them at the next con, and so I just really want to say, like, I'm so proud of the classiness and the open-heartedness and just the beautifulness, I just made up that word, of this Lucifer fan base. Their passion is so inspiring. So, you know, I just hope to continue my journey as a writer and creator in this space, in this genre space that I love so much. And I really hope, you know, to create and bring them a show or a movie, you know, one day that resonates, you know, that this really special show does.